If you're trying to play linebacker at the Division I level, keep watching this video because we're going to give you a full comprehensive guide on how to get there. So before we start writing a program, we have to realize what a linebacker needs. So every single linebacker that plays at the Division I level has four things. So we're going to break down those four things and then surround our program around these four key concepts. That first key concept into playing linebacker at Division I level is having a football IQ. Every single linebacker that plays at the Division I level knows everything about football. They obsess over football. If this is not your number one goal when you're trying to get better at training or trying to get better at football using training, you're not doing it right. So how do we get a better football IQ? Well, the number one thing is practice. If you're not practicing, you're not going to be getting the reps and the time and experience getting better at football. But it's hard early spring, during the summer, you're not going to be playing full contact football, getting that experience. So we have to set aside some time outside of our training, listening to people talk about football, watching football. We need to spend hours studying our game film and other people's game film to get better at football. To go along with this, technique plays a huge role in how good you're going to be at football. You may run the fastest 40 in the world. If you don't know how to shed blocks, you're not going to be playing at a high level. So we need to set aside some time along with our training to practice block shedding, agility, coverage drills. The second key concept of playing linebacker at the Division I level is to have speed. You need speed. Whether or not you think the 40-yard dash holds value to actual football or not, coaches still value it. If you are not running a fast 40-yard dash time, it doesn't matter how good your 5.10.5 is, your broad jump, or how much you weigh, or even sometimes how good your film is. Some coaches legitimately overvalue your 40-yard dash more than your film in some aspects. The third key concept to playing linebacker at the Division I level is hip power and control. So what do I mean by this? We've seen the videos of high school linebackers making those crazy hit sticks at the first, and they put them the first thing on their highlight reel. Those are videos that get you Division I offers. It's when you're able to show that you are a better athlete than everyone else on the field. You're physically dominating. Hip control and power is the number one player into making those big hits. If you are able to get your hips up and through the man you're tackling, you're going to start making some big hits. The last key concept to playing Division I linebacker, which you have probably been waiting for, is upper body strength and power. When do we use this? All the time. When we're jacking guys up on a blitz, when we're jacking guys up shedding blocks, when we're ripping through guys, we need our upper body strength and power to play Division I level. So what does this mean? Our bench presses, our pull-ups, our incline presses, our jerks, they are all super important to playing linebacker. They are all super important to developing your upper body strength and power. So when I go and I take those four key concepts and I'm trying to make those into a program, I have to ask these two questions. Number one, how often do you lift, bro? And how often are you going to be doing field work? These two questions are going to help you determine how often you're going to need to train, how each training day is going to go, and what you need to hit each training day. Our first training split we're going over is a 3-day lifting split. This is not 3 days a week we're working out. This is 3 days a week where we'll be in the gym lifting. So we're going to start off our week with a technique day. Now, it doesn't have to be on Sunday. If you want to start on a Monday, go right ahead. So we're starting off our week with a technique day. These are not high velocity days. These are not hard days. We are just ingraining technique in our mind, doing things slow, controlled, understanding the way our body is going to be moving in a game. We're going to follow this day with a full body day. Every single day, every single time we hit the weight room with this split, we're going to be hitting our entire body. So for our legs, we want to be doing short sprints. We might want to use a heavy sled on these days, and we're just going to be doing short bursts of 10 to 15 yards all out. We're also going to be doing heavy Olympic lifting, working on that hip power and control. For our arms, I recommend doing some heavy bench press, some heavy presses. So our overhead jerks are going to be great things to do this day. I like doing a little bit of cluster set training with this and doing some heavy pull-ups on our bench press, maybe some heavy rows, stuff like that. It's going to be a great way to reduce the amount of time we're in the weight room and get more shit done while we're in there. We're going to follow this day up with another technique day. Again, we're not going super hard. We're just ingraining technique in our mind. Wednesday is going to be a mix of that hypertrophy and strength. So we're going to be doing some of our middle length sprints. This might be a good day to run our full 40-yard dashes. And I think when we go in the weight room, I think sets of 5 on our front squats and our back squats are going to be great. If we're going to do single leg squats, I think sets of 5 would be a good number to use. We could go a little bit lower or maybe a little bit higher. When it comes to our upper body, I'd like to do sets of 7. I think our upper body is a little bit more slow twitch. I think they react well to sets of 7 because it's right in between hypertrophy and strength. And this might be a good day to do some plyometrics as well. So plyometrics and we could do acceleration-based plyometrics, and we could also do some top-end sprint speed-based plyometrics because this is a mix of both. Thursday, we're going to take the day off, but this should never be a full day off. This is a day where you might want to stretch a little bit, do a little bit of mobility, and then we also want to do our film study on this day. This is the most important day by far. So Friday's the day we've all been waiting for. This is going to be our hypertrophy day. This is also going to be the day we're going to be working on some top-end sprint speed. So these are sprints that are more than 40 yards long. This can be our flying 10s where we're building up for 40 yards and then running all out for 10. These can be 80-yard sprints. I like doing a little bit more speed endurance, maybe a little bit of conditioning on this day. I think this is also a great day to do some split squats. Why do I like split squats? Because they suck. They stretch that glute, they stretch that quad, and we all know the feeling of just doing 3 sets of 10 with our split squats and waking up the next day and not being able to walk. With our arms, this is the day you're going to be taking pictures for Instagram because our pump's going to be so huge. We want to be doing rep outs with the bench press, rep outs with our pull-ups. We want to be doing a lot of curls, some specific tricep work. This is also going to be the day where we're doing some injury prevention and we're adding it specifically to our workout. So this is a day to do some rotator cuff work, maybe some Lou raises and some deep push-ups just to get that stretch and really help support that shoulder joint. And unfortunately, a lot of guys are going to skip over the 3-day training split that need the 3-day training split. If you're a guy that's very muscularly driven, that struggles with the 40-yard dash, struggles making plays because they're just not quick enough, but they're strong on the bench press, strong on the squat, you need the 3-day training split, in my opinion, because you need more time sprinting and less time doing that strength work because you already have it. You need to spend time on the field, moving fast, working on your technique, and knowing how to get to the play instead of learning how to bench press. That's not going to help you as much as the technique and the speed work. Now, if we have a guy that's a good mix of speed and power, doesn't have an overdevelopment of either, I think the 4-day training split is great. And I think if you're not sure what to pick quite yet, if you're kind of young in your training stage or you don't know that much about sports performance, I think this is a great starting cycle to use. So Sunday, we're going to start off again with our technique day. We're going to follow this with a leg day. We're not, unlike the 3-day training split, we're not going to have full body days. We're going to have a leg day and an upper body day. So on our leg day, the first time we train legs, we want to do that acceleration based leg day again. This is another day. This is a great day to hit Olympic lifts. You know, our power cleans, our squat cleans, and maybe our snatches as well. I also like doing acceleration-based plyometrics on this day. So our short bounding, our box jumps, our standing jumps. This is a great day to do that because they're going to teach our body to fire hard again. Now we're following this day with a heavy press day with our upper body, similar to our 3-day training split. The difference, this day we're also going to add some rotation-based work, which also helps with our hip power when we're turning, trying to pull guys. So this is a great day to do med ball throws, our cable pull throughs, anything where we're turning our body. It's a great day to do that. Also, I usually don't have enough time or energy to do snatches on my leg day, so sometimes I'll actually add snatches to my arm day. Our Wednesday, we're going to be off. This is, again, it's not an off day. We're studying our film here. At the end of the week, we're going to start doing a little bit more hypertrophy-based work and some more top-end sprint speed with our legs. So our leg day on Thursday is going to be our top-end sprint speed. I like doing things like 10-yard flies, building up with 40 yards, or 80-yard sprints again. And then another thing to do on this day is our split squats and then our Nordic curls. They're a great way to build that hamstring strength and tendon strength. Last day of the week is going to be our rep out day, our hypertrophy day, and our injury prevention. We want to go hard as hell on this day, and we're going to have a lot more time compared to our 3-day training split to do those rep outs, and we're going to have a lot more, we're going to be able to do a lot more sets when we're using the 4-day training split. So before we go over the 5-day training split, you need to know if you should or shouldn't do this training split. If you are 5'11", 230 pounds, and run a 5'3", 40-yard dash, this is not the plan for you. It may sound like heaven because you're lifting 5 days a week. It is not going to make you any better of a football player. You already have everything you need from the 5-day training split. Go back, watch what I talked about on the 3-day training split, and implement those ideas because you need the top end speed. These are guys that lack the mass, that are great when it comes to open field. They can sprint very well, but when it comes to delivering that hit, shedding blocks, they just can't do it. They're string beans. These are guys that need the mass. Another thing I will say is this is going to be hard on your nervous system. If you don't take care of your body while you're doing this mesocycle, you're going to get injured, you're going to get sick, and your lifts are going to go down. So it's important you're eating right, it's important you're sleeping, and it's important that you're doing these lifts and listening to your body while you're doing them. So how do we do it? So our weekends are going to be film study weekends or just chill weekends, because this is already a lot to do. So we need those 2 full days to recover for the next 5 days of work. Our first day of the week is going to be our acceleration-based day. I recommend warming up with some technique work. This technique work, again, isn't going to be super hard, but we don't have the time to do it when we're lifting 5 days a week. So warm up with 2 or 3 linebacker movements. We move into our acceleration work where we're sprinting for 10 to 15 yards again, and we could be using our sled. I like doing Olympic lifting on this day. I think power cleans are a great thing to do on this day. I think full cleans are a great thing to do on this day. I also like doing acceleration-based plyometrics, our short bounds, our broad jumps, our box jumps, our hurdle hops. It's a great day to do this. So when we get to Tuesday, we're going to be doing our arms, our upper body. Sets of 7 on these. We need that hypertrophy, but this is earlier in the week, so we don't want to be too sore for this section of our week. So I think sets of 7 are going to be a great thing to do on this day. We should also be doing our rotational work on this day. So throwing the med ball, pulling the cable, anything where we're rotating through, get that dynamic trunk control. Wednesday is going to be our leg day. It's going to be specifically our leg day, where we're working on our top end speed. Once we get done with our sprint work, we're going to move into our squats. This is a great day to do squats. I like doing sets of 5, perfect mix of hypertrophy and strength. Then on Thursday is going to be specifically a push day. These are days where we're going to be repping out on our bench press. I also like isolating our triceps on this day. Reason being, the guys that need to be doing this workout regimen need to work on extending through blocks. A huge portion of that is our triceps. You might want to throw in some JM press, some skull crushers, anything like that, and do them for some high reps. I'm talking sets of 15 to 30. Our last day of our week is going to be a full body day, but we're not going to be pushing on this day. We're going to be pulling. So I like doing snatches, and a lot of times I like supersetting those snatches with a banded pull apart, any sort of scapular work to help warm up and stay vertical. We're also going to be doing some pull-up rep outs. We're going to be doing some rows. I also like finishing this week off on the assault bike. This is going to help us recover. It's going to get blood flow to our legs and our arms. So over the weekend, we'll be sore, but our body's going to be getting ready for that Monday again. We need to be doing cardio so our body can stay in shape and take care of itself. Again, we need to make sure we're taking care of our body. I recommend being in a caloric surplus when we're doing the 5-day training split so we're not overtraining and we have enough energy to get through this. So those are the 3 workout plans I recommend for our linebackers, depending on your body type, depending on what your off-season needs are. And if you guys have any questions, hit me down in the comments below. If you think I should flip something around or I should add something, definitely let me know. I'd love to know what you guys have to think, and let me know if these workouts work for you. Thanks, y'all. Peace.